Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of our How to Build a Calculator series. Just a second. I'm just getting over a cold, so I'm trying to make sure I keep myself hydrated and not all coffee for you guys. So yeah, what I'm standing in right now is what we're going to build today, the control room. So as you'll see up here, this is where you display your numbers. So you have push a button, and the number will appear, plus another button. It'll say plus that one, and then it'll say over here equals whatever your answer is. And I made it out of glass here because it's kind of cool to watch the redstone light up around you as you press the buttons. And yeah, I'll just fly up here and give you guys a look. Now if you notice, these displays are actually wired up and ready to go. And the only thing that's not completely wired up right now is the output or input, which we will do in the next episode. So if I were to come down here and flip a switch, and fly over here and flip a switch, we can fly back up to our control room. And what we've done is we've simulated an input. So we haven't put the plus sign in yet, but it would say 1 plus 8. And over here it says equals 9. So we'll actually have a fully functioning calculator that you can work with kind of laboriously to get it all to work. But yeah, this is the first chance that you get to really see your calculator working. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so last time I left you guys, your calculator should look something like this. And so the first thing we're going to do is build the room. And for me, I'm just going to use glass, stone, nether brick, and redstone lamps. And you can use any materials you really want. That's what I'm going to use. Now, you probably want to place your room in a very similar spot to mine so that you can have enough room to do wiring, because it'll be kind of cramped in here if you build your room too big. So what I did, place a piece of glass on top of this torch and this torch, connect them together, and then you go 10 away from that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you just go out like so, and fill this in. And so now we have ourselves a little floor that we can stand on and work from and all that great stuff. And the reason that it's this length is so that it has enough room for the displays to work properly. Now the next thing we're going to do is this wall over here. And let's do this. Now we got to make sure we leave ourselves enough room for the inputs and the wiring. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is center. Okay, so we got one button and then 3 rows of 3 buttons like so. Okay, we gotta go 2 more above that before we can start our redstone lamps like so. So we'll just go ahead and fill this in. And I'm trying to balance here what to do on camera and what not to do on camera, because I don't want to waste any of you guys' time by doing tedious work on camera, but at the same time I don't want to have a bunch of jumps where they're not necessary. Okay, so then we will lay out our lamps, and I like to actually draw the numbers so that I know where they will go, and that'll help later when we are wiring the numbers up. And for anyone that doesn't know, we're using a 7-segment display, and it looks like this. It has 7 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all controlled each by 1 strip of your decoder, and we'll be wiring those up today. So yeah, I'll put the plus sign in so you guys can see here. Plus sign will go here, and then we'll go right into the second number. Oop. Oh, jeez. Okay, almost got it here. So yeah, it looks something like this. Now, really, the places where the stone is are the only places you really need redstone lamps. And most people who use redstone lamps for the displays, or when they're using 7-segment displays, only have redstone lamps in those spots because most people don't know how to control redstone lamps individually. And I came up with a method that I've been using that I really enjoy. And I also don't like having a wall of not all redstone lamps. It's confusing, I know. Okay, so there we go. There's the first wall, and we'll go ahead and do the second one while we're here. Now I made this first layer out of glass just because I wanted to be able to see what was going on behind this wall. So go ahead and do this, and we'll do our lamps again. Actually, we'll draw our number out, do it on the far edge here. So just do another 7-segment here. Alright, we'll skip a spot and do our second number because this time we also have the number 1 right here, because if we have any numbers like 9 plus 9, we'll get 18, so we need to have a option in the tens place. And then we can put our equal signs in. Or equal sign. There we go. So that's what it'll look like. And we'll fill in the same thing all with redstone here again. And actually there's quite a bit of redstone here, so I think I'll just jump off camera and finish filling this in. Alright, now I went ahead and finished that up, and then I put some nether brick around the displays here and some glass for walls in. And I didn't really do this on camera because it's really up to you guys what you do for this room. As long as you make sure you don't go any lower than what I showed you guys to go. Like, don't go below this block here. You'll be fine doing whatever material or resource you want to use. So yeah, let's go ahead to the next step, wiring up these numbers here. And for that, I'm going to use birch wood just to keep my colors separate in my mind. It helps me work. So what you're going to do is everywhere that you have a stone block, you're going to go out 2 blocks and basically make the shape again. So you'll have something like, oh, I'm missing everything here. So yeah, you're just making the 7-segment figure, I guess you could call it, again, just 1 block away from the original, like so. So it looks something like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to break out the top of all the vertical segments and place it right against the stone, like this. In just a minute. It's getting to nighttime here. Okay. Then you're going to grab a redstone torch. And you come around here. And you're going to place redstone torches on all the blocks that are 1 block away. And these will power the lamp they're behind without powering any lamps around them. So we can go ahead and break out these pieces of stone here and put in our lamps instead. And they will be on when we put them in. So we'll have to do a little bit of wiring magic to make sure they're off by default. Now the difference between, like, the reason we have to do it this way is because when you power something directly, and I'll show you with this, because this is what we're going to do on the plus sign. Just grab a repeater and put it right into the center block of the plus sign. And I'll show you what happens when you power a lamp directly. It lights up all the lamps around it. This lamp is the only one we're powering, but it lights up the ones on all sides. So that's why we have to be a block away when we're powering it to ensure that all these lamps aren't lit up. So go ahead and do the same thing for all the numbers and then come back. And once you're done, it should look something like this. All your numbers will be lit up, 8 plus 8 equals 8. 18, I guess. It'll say 8 plus 8 equals 18 right now, which is bad math, but that's okay. And if you didn't know, equal sign, just treat it like a 3 long segment. So, yeah. Okay, guys, now we're on to another step where I'm going to tell you guys what you need to do, but exactly how you do it is up to you, because it's another busing thing. So what we got to do now is connect our decoders to our displays. And we've set up the decoders in positions that make it as easy as possible to do that. I'm going to show you guys how to connect a couple segments on this answer here, so you guys can get the idea and do it for all of them. Okay, so our answer decoder is the one on the bottom, if you remember correctly. And this is our answer, this single digit here. We're not going to worry about this one right now. So just the single digit here, we need to hook up to this decoder. And basically, each of these segments, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, each can be connected to each one of these lines out here. And now to make that a little easier, I'll show you guys how you need to connect it. There's a couple important things you need to remember. And first of all, when you have these horizontal ones, you can make a 4 long little plate area place in front of them like this. And you put repeaters, oh, I need redstone. Put repeaters into the blocks, and then redstone behind them to connect the repeaters together. Because there's 2 torches, but this is just one segment. So you do it like that. And then for these vertical ones, you just bring them down 1 more block like this. So you have a 3 long diagonal coming down on both sides. And you put either a repeater or redstone dust. It doesn't really matter which one you use, as long as the redstone dust is pointed into this block so it can turn off that torch. Okay, so now connecting. Just because it'll be way easier, we're going to connect this first output of the decoder to this one, this segment right here. And because we're connecting at this, I'm going to connect it right at the center point here. Because we're doing that, we don't want to have this repeater here, because it won't let these 2 torches here influence this. Now, the final thing you need to remember is that we need to have this off, so the display is off by default, which means that the power going into it needs to be on by default. So redstone torch, block, redstone dust. And you see this is short here, so I'll just put a block here to stop that short. And that should have turned off that very first segment for us. You see that's off now. And now basically what we gotta do is we gotta do the same thing to all of them. Now the most important thing, make sure it's on by default. So we'll just do one more here for you guys, and then I'll let you guys do it on your own. So we'll take this output here, this output here, and we'll connect it to this one right here. That'll work. So we're gonna come right out like this, and I'm gonna come straight out past this, meaning that I need another repeater there to stop a short. And then we will go out one more, just make it up, and then this way. Oops. Come up so it can be at this level here. There we go. And that should be long enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's another short. Okay. Except right now, it's not powered. And so the way to fix that, if you end up with a situation like this, the easiest thing to do here would be to have the power going into this block, turn this torch on and off. So when the power turns on, that torch will be turned off, and then the power going on here will turn off. So now we have 2 segments off. And you need to do that for all the segments. A bit of advice, make sure you keep it as tight, compact as possible. We gave you all this room here. That's why we put these glowstone stacks a little ways away, so you had plenty of room to do the busing and wrap it all the way around here and connect all these segments. Take up as little space here as possible. You shouldn't need to come over here at all. You can probably fit it all in this area, because this area will have more wiring that we will learn about later. So just so you guys know what you're doing, the bottom decoder connects to this side. The top decoder outputs right here. You just wrap it around and connect it to these. And this middle decoder outputs here. You just wrap it around and connect it right here. So we have all the outputs of the decoders really close to the answers, so it should be fairly simple. But this is going to be, even though it's simple, it's going to be one of the hardest steps, I think, for you guys. So, yeah. Pause the video here, come back when you're done, because this step will probably take a little while. Alright, now when you're done, it should look something like this. You'll have your busing wrapped around this way. Leave a little room because we'll have to wire in this plus later. Busing wrapped around here like so. And then you come down here and you've got your busing wrapped like this, staying out of the way of these two still. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's never a fun step. Usually takes quite a bit of time. But I'm sure you guys are capable enough to have figured it out. So the only thing glowing in here now should be the equal sign, and that's going to stay glowing, I believe. I don't believe that we're going to have that turn off, so that'll just be always there. So, just a second. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is code our decoders. And we're going to code the decoders. Code decoders. Code decoders. Okay. So the way we go about doing that is fairly simple. What we'll do, we'll fly down here, and I've placed levers all along these inputs here for testing purposes, and along here for testing purposes. So we'll just flip this one here. Now, this is 0, 1, 2, so on all the way through 9. And this is 0, 1, 2, all the way so on through 9. So what will happen here is we'll flip this switch, and we'll fly way back over to our displays. And the number 8 should be displayed on the screen, which, that doesn't make sense, that's supposed to be 0. But this is because we haven't coded our decoders yet. Every number is going to be 8 until we code our decoders. So we'll fly down to the first input decoder, which is the middle one, and we'll find the line that's turned off now, which should be this one right here, because it's connected to the lever down there. And each of these torches represents a segment on your display. And so you have to find the one that represents the middle one, and it's going to be different for all you guys, so don't do just what I'm doing, because it all depends on which one of these outputs you wired to which segment. But basically you just break a torch, and we'll just do this for testing purposes, break a torch, we'll fly over here, and we'll see which one turned off. And I don't think that was the middle one. Nope, you see we turned off the bottom one. So now we gotta fly back, and try a different one. I think it's this one here. Come back up here now, and there we go. Our screen displays 0. So now we move on to the next one. Flip 0 off, turn 1 on. And if we come back up here again, instead of 1, it's going to say 8. So we got to find the correct ones to break, and there's going to be way more this time. Actually, I think these two are my correct ones for mine, but it varies. I mean, it really depends on what you guys wired. So I think breaking all of those should have made it a 1. Come up here, and now our screen displays a 1. So we're just going to keep doing this over and over again until we have them all done. So we'll turn 1 off and go on to 2, which will display 8 until we break the segments. And I can do this all on camera, but it's not going to be very beneficial to you guys, because you probably didn't wire your segments the same way I wired mine. So I'll go ahead and finish this up. You guys can finish it up. What you do here is you just go through, test each one individually, and turn those off. You come over here and turn each of these on, test those individually, and these will show up in the second number spot. It's the same thing. You just come up here and you break the correct torches that you need to break. Yeah. And then, yeah, do that and come back. Alright, now, once you've got both of your inputs decoded, the last thing you need to do, code, is the answer. And that one's pretty easy to do. I bet a lot of you jumped ahead of me and have already done it. Basically what you can do is you flip on 0 on either side. We'll do on this side, 0, and we do 0 on this side. So the calculator's doing the addition for us now. It's got the answer, 0, 0, and of course on this side it's going to say 8 because we haven't decoded it yet. So we just fly right over to the answer decoder, which is the very bottom one, and we do the same thing we've been doing, which is break the necessary torches. Oh, sorry, this is not the answer decoder. This is the answer decoder. Down here. Okay. And we just break the middle torch, which I think this one might be connected to 0. Anyway, we'll just fly up here, we'll check. Nope. Darn it. Okay, we'll try again. I want to do at least one on here with you guys. Again, it's going to vary for you guys, because it'll depend on which outputs you connected to your decoders. This one. I think that's the right one. There we go. 0 plus 0 is 0. So, we just fly back down here, and we change one of the numbers. So, we'll change this from 0 to 1. So now we have 0 plus 1. And the screen should say 8 again, because we haven't decoded the number 1. See? We got 1 plus 0 now. Come down here, 8. So, we fly back down to our answer decoder, and we gotta code this one too. Oh, I fell down. I got a second one here, and you break the right torches. You guys basically know what you're doing, so go ahead and do that and come back. Alright, now once you've got that done, you finish everything we're going to do today. You've built your room, you've done some busing, and you've done coding. We got a lot done this episode, but we are almost done. Your calculator works completely now. Oh, and Grace is playing with the inputs. But your calculator works now, and all we have left to do is wire the inputs to this room, and you'll be good to go. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you made it through. It's kind of a challenging episode today, but definitely fun. Let's see, 3 plus 4, 7. There you go. So, yeah, thanks for watching.